text.
Helen, you back from school?
I'm about to leave school.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to work overtime tonight. Probably for an hour or so. Tomorrow's Mom's death anniversary. Can you grab some flowers on your way home?
Got it.
Oh, and one more thing. Is everything okay? You've been acting all strange recently.
Huh? I'm fine.
Okay. If you want to talk, I'm always here for you, okay?
I know, Dad. No worries. I'm fine.
Alright, I'll be back around 8 p.m. See you in a bit.
Okay, see ya.
Helen, where are you? Why are you home?
Sorry, I'm heading back now.
You know what time it is? You're still in middle school. You can't break curfew like this. I was worried sick. Where are you? What are you up to?
I was eating dinner with Mom.
Huh? What do you mean?
I was with Mom.
What? But she passed away when you were little. What are you saying?
I know that's a lie. You cheated on her, then you two split up. She told me everything. But she was sick, so she couldn't raise me on her own. So the courts gave you custody. I'm not a kid anymore, Dad. You can't trick me anymore.
I never tricked you! Listen, I'll come pick you up. Where are you?
I'm already on my way home. No worries.
What? What the hell is going on?
Stop trying to deny it, Dad. It's pathetic. I found out the truth, okay? Face it. I was surprised too, believe me. But she had pictures of me as a kid. And we looked alike. You can't lie to me anymore.
That can't be. I saw her body. She was dead. You might not remember, but...
How do I know that you're not lying to me? I don't know anyone from Mom's side of the family. There's no way for me to check.
I know. They weren't very happy about us getting married, so...
Why did you cheat on her? What's wrong with you? Mom was crying. She said she wants us to live with us again. She says she's willing to give you another chance.
Wait. What? Hold on. Listen. I never cheated on her. Never. And Mom is dead. That's a fact. I swear I'm not lying to you, Helen. So whoever you met tonight, that's not your mother.
But it wasn't my first time. I've met her like 3 times already. I don't think she's lying to me either. She knew everything about us. She's telling the truth.
Helen, I would never lie to you. I would never do anything to hurt you. You know that, don't you?
But...
Let me talk to her. You know her number? The woman you were meeting with?
yeah.
Okay, we'll talk once you get home. Maybe she's a mutual friend or something. Not sure why she contacted you, but she must have a reason.
Okay. Sorry, Dad.
It's okay, Helen. It's not your fault. Don't apologize.
Okay.
I don't have to talk about Mom. I thought it would just make you sad, but I was wrong. That's gonna change from now on. Sorry about that, dear. I'll see you at home, okay? Why did you contact her? What do you want? Why are you doing this?
Oh, so you found out. Long time no talk, Alex.
Answer my question. What's going on here? Why are you talking to my daughter?
Oh, loosen up. It's been ages since we last talked. I almost had her. I came so close.
What are you talking about? What are you up to?
Whatever. She was bound to find out sooner or later after the marriage. I just wanted her to get used to me, that's all. I don't see the problem here.
Marriage? What on earth are you talking about?
Our marriage, duh. Helen is a teenager. It can't be easy raising her on your own, so, you know. But if we get married then, I'd be able to help you. You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about? What marriage? You're married, aren't you?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm getting a divorce.
Huh?
Remember when you came to our house to say hi to our parents? They were against it. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah?
I told them what a terrible person you were. That's why they were so against it. I was hoping you two would split up after that, but...
What? Why? Why would you do such a thing? I don't understand.
What do you think? I liked you, duh. I've always liked you. But my sister took you away from me and ran off. It took me a while to get over you, but I did. Then I met my husband and he makes good money, but that's about it. This is all your wife's fault. I told her to hand you over to me, but she wouldn't listen. She basically stole you away from me. She ruined my life. My husband makes good money, sure, but he's ugly and he stinks. And my son looks exactly like him. He's hideous. I hate my family. I knew something had to change. I didn't want to spend the rest of my time with my ugly family. Then I saw you guys, you and Helen.
So what?
It was no coincidence. It was some sort of sign. You still looked really good. The years have been good to you. And Helen, she's so pretty. That's when I knew. I want to start over. I want to start a new family with the two of you. What do you think? Your wife and I were twins, so I look just like her. I don't see what the problem is.
No, I don't think so. She was the love of my life, and nobody can replace her. Not even her twin sister. And you're not making any sense. And how can you lie to my daughter like that? You can't do this to us. Please don't ever come near us again. I've had it with you. You were waiting for Helen outside her school? What the hell is wrong with you?
It's your fault. Why are you ignoring me, huh? And Helen likes me. I hang out with her all the time.
That's because she thought you were her mom. I already talked to the police about you.
Police? I didn't do anything.
You sure about that? You called her more than 100 times a day. And you're stalking her. You're following her everywhere she goes. You even tried to break into our home the other day. This is illegal. This is your first and final warning. Don't push me.
Why won't you let me in? Your wife is dead. But you have a chance to start over with her twin sister. We're basically the same person. I don't see what the problem is here.
That's not my point. I fell in love with her for who she was. Nobody can replace her. Nobody. I already told you this. And, you're nothing like her. You make me sick. I mean, what kind of person does this? You traumatized my daughter. You realize that? And all those things you said about your own family? You're a terrible person. You're delusional. You should probably go see a doctor. I'm not marrying you. Get that through your head.
Is that so? You're an idiot for turning me down. My husband makes a lot of money, which means you'll be getting a lot of money once I divorce him. I'm entitled to half of everything, so... But I guess you didn't realize that. You're an idiot. No wonder you work at a factory, loser. No wonder she married you. She always had a thing for losers.
Whatever you say. Money and looks might be important to you, but not everyone thinks like that.
Whatever. Technically, I'm still married to him, so I guess the divorce is off then. I still hate my ugly family, but whatever. I can still live like a queen, so... Meanwhile, you're gonna be miserable for the rest of your life. This is gonna be fun.
We'll see about that.
What does that mean? Whatever. Screw you, loser.
I called your husband. I know him from work. I sent him everything. All the texts you sent us.
What?
Well, it turns out he was thinking about divorce too. He said you never did anything around the house. All you did was complain and yell at the kids, so he was really happy when I told him. He was worried that you might get custody of the kids, but with all this, that's not gonna happen, so...
You're kidding, right? He loves me. He's obsessed with me. He does everything I tell him to. He'd never leave me.
He seemed like a kind person, but everyone has their limits. I guess you pushed him too hard. He said you treated him like crap. You did this to yourself. Whatever. I'm done here. I got no time for this. You're a terrible person. Don't ever come near us again.
Hold on, wait. Tell my husband I was just kidding.
I don't think that's gonna help you in any way.
Then marry me. This is all your fault. If I didn't run into you guys, none of this would have happened. You gotta take responsibility for this.
You're just a stranger to me. You did this to yourself. You only have yourself to blame. Figure it out.
What? What did I do? What's gonna happen to me?
Not my problem. Good luck, though. You're gonna need it. And one more thing. Don't ever talk about my wife like that again. If you do, you're gonna regret it. Go to hell. Her husband left her after that. She got kicked out of the house. She put up a pretty good fight, but the courts ruled in her husband's favor. She thought she was going to get half of his stuff, but since she never did anything around the house, she got nothing. Not only that, her husband sued her for damages. So now she was up to her neck in debt. She had nothing now. She was screwed. Then, her husband contacted her parents for me and told them what happened. They paid me a surprise visit one weekend to come see us. They were really happy to see Helen. They told Helen all kinds of stories about her mom. My sister-in-law tried to leech off her parents after she got kicked out of the house. But they knew about everything she did, so they weren't going to help her in any way. They ended up cutting all ties with her. Oh well, sucks for her, but not my problem. I started talking more about my late wife to my daughter. She loved it when I told her stories about her mother. Anyways, it was a rough couple of weeks, but I'm just glad everything worked out.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Brindley, I just finished work.
Glad to hear, Colton. Today you stayed pretty late. Did you have extra work that you needed to get done?
Recently, things have been pretty busy for me there. Some of my higher-ups have been handing me more and more of their work to do.
But isn't that something you've been asking for so that they'll all see how good of an employee you are?
But today I was hoping to get out of work a little earlier than normal. After all, I'm going over to your parents' house tomorrow to see everyone. I was thinking of stopping by the store on the way home to pick up a shirt to wear tomorrow.
You don't have to get any new shirts or anything before you come out to their place. My older brother is always just in a t-shirt and shorts while around the house. Well, I guess tomorrow should be a little more formal since it's your first time seeing the house.
What? But you have always been living under your brother's care, right? I'm sure to him he thinks of you as more of a daughter than a little sister.
Well, yeah, I guess so. He was the one that stepped in to raise me after my parents.
And that's the exact reason why I want to be looking sharp when I go see him. I want him to feel confident in letting you become part of my family, knowing that I'll always take care of you.
But I'm not too sure he's the kind of guy to really judge you based on what clothing you wear. He is always telling everyone not to worry so much about what he thinks of them when they come over to see him. And this time we're just going over for a lunch and to talk a little.
What? Is he really all right with things being so relaxed?
It's fine, Colton, it's fine. He doesn't really like things being all too strict either. He would much rather everyone be relaxed and have a good time.
Well, if you and your brother are fine with me just going there looking casual, I guess casual is what I'll do.
Great. And just beware that my parents' house is pretty old now, so don't be too surprised by what you see.
I won't be. I actually prefer places like older buildings and houses.
Well, this place isn't old in that regard. Also, considering you're such a bright person all the time, I'm sure my older brother and you will get along so well.
That would be wonderful. But he is more close in age to my father than me, so I wonder how close we can really get.
That's a good point. My brother is 10 years older than you and I. But another thing my brother really likes is the outdoors.
What? Are you serious? If that's the case, then I'm sure him and I will never run out of things to talk about.
He's also the kind of guy to listen to everything someone has to say. He did such a wonderful job raising me to be the same way, so I'm thankful for that. And I'm sure you'll be thankful for him too.
I'm actually getting quite excited about seeing him tomorrow.
That's great to hear. I'll be over to pick you up in my car around 12 tomorrow.
Okay. I don't want to get caught oversleeping, so once I get home, I'm heading right to bed.
Colton, how's your stomach feeling? Have you made it back home?
Yeah. My stomach is doing a lot better now.
Well, that's good to hear. My brother was pretty worried about you as well. He thought that maybe the lunch had caused you to start feeling those sudden stomach pains.
I don't think his cooking had anything to do with it. It wasn't like he picked up those hamburgers from some cheap grocery store or anything like that, right?
I don't think so. From what he told me, he got them at the local butcher just down the street. You think it has something to do with that?
There might be. If he was buying those burgers for $1 a patty, then they were probably not real meat to begin with. But if he got them at a local butcher shop, then I guess it's alright. I'm not sure how good the butcher themselves was, but...
Were the burgers not that good to you?
Honestly, I don't even remember what they tasted like.
You must have just been really nervous about seeing my brother then, right?
Nervous? It might have been the shock I was experiencing that caused me to blank out for a little bit.
What? What were you shocked about? There wasn't anything that crazy going on at the house, right?
I was shocked by your brother's line of work. I saw some workers' fatigues in the house when I was there.
And what about them?
What about them? What? That means your brother is a factory worker or something like that, right?
Huh?
What I'm asking is, does your brother work at a low-paying job or what?
What are you talking about? Don't tell me you're making fun of my brother right now.
No, I think your brother is very amazing for what he's done. He's only been able to make minimum wage every month, yet he was able to send you to college? That's pretty remarkable for a man like him. And now you're working for a really famous company and all. But look, both of you and I are pretty well-off people, right? On a higher level than most people in this town, per se. In my case, I have never been around anyone working jobs such as that of a factory worker, so I was just shocked to see one today.
Hey, do you realize that a lot of what you're saying right now is very bad and probably shouldn't be said again? You're sounding like one of those old men that judges people based off their line of work.
I'm sorry. I was just shocked is all.
Could that be the reason why during the middle of lunch you stopped saying anything? You found out that my brother has to wear fatigues like that to work?
That's not at all what caused me to stop talking. I was just stuck.
What were you stuck on? What does it matter to you, the kind of job that my older brother is doing right now?
I do believe that it has nothing to do with me, but I'm just wondering what my parents and the rest of my family will think of him. You probably already know this, but my family, well, they are all very well off, right? So that's why I'm a bit stuck on whether or not you can show your brother to my family at all.
What are you going on about? I never thought that you would ever say something like that.
No, I'm totally fine with your brother, but...
No, you're not, and that's why we're having this kind of conversation now, right? You keep saying your family won't like him, but in reality, it's you that's upset with the kind of person my brother is, right?
Well, just think about it for a second. When he has to meet my family at some point, I'm not sure he's going to have a very good time around all of them. You already know about how strict both of my parents are. And they will dig into him about the work he does and the amount of money he makes doing the said job. That's how my family judges people, no matter what else they've gone and accomplished in life. I think it would be better for my family not to meet your brother.
I don't think my brother will care about what they say.
I'm sure he might not care at first, but they will start to say terrible things to him, and that might create some bad drama in the family later. You wouldn't want that, right?
I'm sure there could be some light drama around it, but isn't that something that you should then step in and de-escalate?
Well, I can do my best. But I'm just putting it out there that it might be better to not have him see my family. To both your brother and you as well, you wouldn't want their views of him to ruin our chances of getting married, right?
How would that ever ruin our chances of getting married, Colton? The only thing that matters is how you and I feel about each other.
That is also true, but there's also a whole thing about how everyone else around us feels.
Is this you trying to tell me you don't want to get married then?
I want to marry you. I do. And that's why I'm so worried about your brother right now. I would much rather you and I get married with my family never knowing about your brother than him going to meet them and start to create some bad air between our families.
Is that really what you're worried about?
Anyhow, I would like it that your brother doesn't come and meet my family.
I think that he needs to meet with your family before our wedding. I want him to. Also, the reason I am the way I am, with all I've gained in life, is because of him. You should know that more than anyone, right? My parents both passed away when I was really young, and he was the only one that could step in and make sure I had a good life as both a kid and a young adult.
I understand that so much that I don't want my family to hurt him. Please, Brinley. Just do as I'm asking and keep him away from my family. After the wedding, you and I can make a date for him to come out and see everyone. As of right now, I'm not really sure what my parents would do or say.
Understood. But if my brother asks me why he hasn't been invited out to see anyone, I'm going to tell him the truth.
All right, that's totally fine. I'm sorry about today. Can you please let your brother know that I'm doing a lot better now? Brinley, this is about the wedding. My father is asking about what you think about the hotel he recommended for the wedding.
What? That hotel is known for hosting all kinds of weddings for very famous people, right? And the place will cost a lot, right?
Don't worry about it. My parents are going to be giving us some money to help pay for the wedding, it seems. And a lot of my other family members will also be pitching in.
I understand that, Colton. But I think that kind of a hotel and everything is a little too gorgeous for both you and I.
Why do you say that? I think both you and I deserve to have a gorgeous wedding there.
Can I ask my brother what he thinks about it?
Ask your brother. What do you want to ask him?
Because it looks like my brother saved up some money for my wedding as well. He told me before that he wanted to help pay for my wedding.
What? You're joking, right?
I'm not joking, Colton.
I don't think he really has that much money to help with this kind of a wedding, though. Are you sure it's not just a couple of thousand that he's saved up?
From the way he was saying it, it looks like he has a bit more than just a few thousand.
By the way, we're not having your brother come to this wedding. So go tell him he doesn't have to help pay for it.
Huh? What did you just say?
The only people coming to this wedding are those that make a lot of money.
Are you kidding me right now? You are planning to invite some of your normal friends like I have, right?
As long as they are people from the same college you went to. But someone like your brother, I don't think he'll fit in with the rest of the crowd. People that never went to college won't be at this wedding, so he might feel out of place there.
I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Colton, what has gotten into you? You were never this kind of person before, right? The thing I always loved about you was how open you were to everyone and never seemed to put anyone down.
And those people that you want to treat as important to you, I'll do my best to treat just as important. But when it comes to something like the wedding, a lot of people from my family will be there. I understand that the most important thing about this wedding is you and I, but having your brother there at something so important to my family, well, I really don't want my parents and family knowing about the kind of work that he does.
You've sunk really low today.
I don't want to say things like this, Brinley, but in my family, there are only elites and those that run companies full of elites. Having a lowlife come to our wedding would just upset them.
So you're calling my brother a lowlife now?
That's right. Your brother is not like the rest of us. And if you're going to be part of this family, I would like that you stop staying in touch with said lowlives as much as possible.
It's crazy how you can just say something like that to me. I was a real idiot for letting things last this long. We're through, Colton. No more marriage or anything.
Huh? Why are you breaking up with me now? I'm just asking that your older brother doesn't come to the wedding is all. You guys can continue to talk to one another, if you want, behind my back. You're really going to tell me you don't want to get married because of that lowlife?
Tomorrow, you're not going to have a job anymore. My brother happens to be a very important customer of yours. So you've really done it to yourself now, calling him a lowlife like that.
A customer of mine?
If you have no clue what I'm talking about, go ahead and ask some of your higher-ups about him. That's all I can say now. And just know that this marriage between you and I is off. Goodbye forever.
I'm sorry, Brinley. I've learned my lesson now. Now would you please let me have a word with your brother?
There is nothing else that my brother and I have to say to you.
But I have plenty to say to him. After my boss and everyone else heard what your brother's company said to us, they were all pissed off. If something doesn't change for the better here, I'm going to be in real trouble. Please let me talk to him so that I can apologize for all the things I said about him.
Is that really what you want to do? Or are you only wanting to apologize so that you can save your own skin? Because from the looks of it, you really did not like the fact that my brother was different than your family.
I'm telling you, I had the wrong idea of him then.
How did you have the wrong idea of him? He works in a factory, like you had said, so that means you feel the exact same way about him as you did a few days ago.
Wait, but I had no idea that your brother was doing more than just working on the factory floor. I didn't know he was also part of the team that worked with my company. And he said he never went to college, right?
Ever since high school, my brother has put in a lot of effort working. He went and got himself all kinds of licenses and moved up within the company he's been a part of. And right now, he's at the point where the current CEO loves him. That's how long he's been working for that company and how much effort he's put in for them.
But I had only ever worked with that company's marketing department. Had I known about who he was, then I would never have said such things about him. You should also feel at fault for some of this, considering you didn't even tell me more about him, right?
Even before you started to make fun of my brother, the way you were talking about his line of work turned me off. And even now, my brother is still working time to time on the factory floor, which means that you would have still made fun of him regardless of whatever else I told you about him. Inside of you, Colton, those that work in factories equal lowlives, right?
But come on now, Brinley. This is insane.
What would have happened had I told you the name of the company my brother works for?
Had I known about where he is working, I would have changed my behavior right then.
That's what I thought, and that's why I didn't say anything. I had just assumed you were being a little strange at the time, and after those few slights against my brother, you would have stopped and moved on. But you just kept going and going and going. The next thing out of your mouth being worse than the last. Things were going from you just being strange to straight up rude. And then after a little while longer, I know you were really against him and looked down on him. That's why we're not getting married anymore.
Your brother and his job and your relationship to me shouldn't have anything to do with one another, right?
You really think that I want to marry a man and become a part of his family when he's talking crap about my own brother, who is also like a father to me?
Are you trying to tell me that your brother is more important to you than I am? You really were going to marry me, even though you love him more?
I wanted to marry you because I loved you as a man, as someone that could be my husband. But my brother, I love him as my family, and someone that I will never turn my back on. So when you started to talk like that about him, making fun of his job and calling him a lowlife, my love for you had vanished. The reason we are through is because I finally found out what kind of a person you really are.
I've already shown you to my parents, though, and everything. And all of my friends know about how I will be marrying you. My higher-ups, are you trying to destroy my mental health or something?
I knew it. You really are only trying to save yourself right now. All that's going to happen is everyone will find out that you weren't good enough for me. And at work, they will all continue to be upset at you for souring a partnership that my brother's company had with yours. All you have to do is say you're sorry to all of them and move on. My brother and I don't feel sorry for any of that, though, because we didn't cause any of it. And I'm sure you don't feel sorry for us, do you?
I do, though. Seriously. I know that I did some very stupid things.
Well, it's too late for you to start regretting things now, Colton. I'm sure that at some point you're going to have to say sorry to my brother in order to not have his company stop working with yours. So you can have a word with him then. But as for you and I, this is it.
Please don't say something like that to me. Brinley, I really am sorry. I will apologize to both of you in person for not only talking horribly about him, but for breaking your heart as well.
People don't just change within a few days, you know. To be frank, I don't think you and I are meant for one another. Marriage would have never worked out, and we would have ended up getting a divorce.
I don't think that's true, though. You have a very smart head on you, and you went to a very wonderful school. You are working for a large company now, and that makes you perfect for me. Can't you see that?
After having come this far, the fact that you are only still thinking about things like my education and where I work is why you are not meant for me. Have you not cared about anything that has to do with the person I am on the inside?
I have cared about that. That's why I felt more compatible to you than anyone else. I made sure to do everything I could to get you to love me. I am sorry for the way I think sometimes, but that's due to the fact that everyone around me are pretentious elites. I am the victim here.
That's enough from you. I failed to do the same thing as you, and that was caring and thinking about the true person that you are. I seriously never noticed, with all the time spent around you, that you were such a jerk on the inside.
Brinley, please don't call this marriage off between you and I. Please.
I'm sorry. I will not be able to live a happy life as the wife of some man that thinks it's okay to belittle others like that.
I will change for you, though. Brinley, please forgive me. I really do love you, Brinley. I always have and always will.
I think all of those things you were saying are things you shouldn't be saying if you really loved me. Also, I've been told this by my brother for a long time now. He's told me that any person who thinks it's okay to talk down to others is a lowlife on the inside and should never be bothered with. And that is why this relationship between you and I is officially no more. After that, I was able to get the point across to Colton that things between him and I were really over and we would not be getting married. Of course, there is still a lot more that will happen after this event, though, such as what'll happen to Colton and the company after what he had said about my brother. I'm not sure how those two companies' relationship will turn out in the end, but what I do know is that the CEO of my brother's company was upset to hear about what Colton had said and made sure to pass all of that along to Colton's higher-ups. Worrying that Colton was not cut out to work in anything that had to do with other companies, the company went and moved Colton into another department. Also, some talk started to arise about how Colton was always treating those that made less than him in the company with pretty rude behavior. So now he's begun to lose a lot of respect from his friends and coworkers and will most likely become a loner as time goes on. I hope that all of this will teach him about how it's not okay to belittle others, no matter what they do or don't do. I am so happy that I learned about the true Colton before we got married and had time to break up with him before having the wedding. I was apologized to by my brother because he started to blame himself for being the reason that I had to break up with Colton. But I told him that it's because of him that I had the strength to leave a man like Colton and move on with myself. That's why I want my brother to be happy about what's happened and not feel any need to apologize for it. And honestly, I want him to know just how much I respect the line of work he's in. He started at the lowest level of that company and grinded all the way to being in a department that helps the company expand. That, to me, is someone that I consider more elite than anyone inside Colton's family. And because of that, I promise to never forget about all my brother did for me and my future, and all the struggles he had to go to in order to be where he is now. That goes for all the people in my life that have supported me and raised me. But when it comes to my brother, there really is a special place in my heart for him, and the way I think about him most is of him in his worker fatigues getting ready to head right back to work. Honestly, right now, I'm not ready to look for anyone to date or marry anymore. But someday, when that drive to find someone special in my life does come again, I want them to be just like my brother and nothing less.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Clint, what will you be rustling me up for dinner later?
Sorry, babe. It's looking like I'm not gonna make it home on time tonight. I hate to ask you this, but I'd be grateful if you could make something for yourself.
What? You spring this on me now? If I knew you weren't going to cook my dinner, I'd have gone out to grab something with one of my girlfriends. Why couldn't you tell me this earlier?
Whoa there, chill. It's cool, okay? I'm only gonna be 2 hours late at most.
Oh, that's all right then. I guess I'll just wait around doing nothing for 2 hours, shall I?
That's not what I'm saying. I just don't think it'd hurt to cook for yourself every now and then. It's not like I stay behind late at work often. I'm the only one who ever cooks these days.
I have a headache today. I'm not in the mood to cook.
Didn't you just say you wanted to go out for food with a friend?
Why do you have to try and find fault with everything I say? The bottom line is I don't feel well today and I ain't cooking. If you're gonna be late, then I'll have to order takeout.
Takeout again? Seriously?
You leave me no choice, even if I was in a fit state to cook. There are no ingredients in the fridge.
I'm pretty sure there's some meat and vegetables left in there.
Well, those aren't the ingredients for the kinds of meals I cook. I can't make a decent meal with the stuff in there.
You said you take care of everything at home when you became a stay-at-home housewife, Nina. What happened to that? You haven't cooked a meal in months now, and you barely even lift a finger when it comes to housework. I'm not asking you to do everything, but I'd really appreciate if you could make just a little more effort to keep things running smoothly at home.
But I did the laundry yesterday.
Yeah, only after I had to practically beg and plead with you for 20 minutes. If I hadn't said anything, it'd all still be piled up there in a basket.
Jeez, Clint, do you have any idea how stressful and demanding it is to be a stay-at-home housewife? I'm busy.
My point is that you're not doing your job as a stay-at-home housewife. What exactly are you busy with? Look, forget it, Nina. I'm tired of this crap. Either start pulling your weight at home or get a part-time job. Ain't no way I'm slaving away at the office 6 days a week to come back to a dirty house to cook for you when you barely even do anything. It takes two to tango and you ain't even trying.
Oh my God, what happened to you, Clint? I feel like you turned into a different person when we got married. You're so bossy and strict now.
Bossy and strict?
Yes, bossy and strict. Do this, do that. It's boring. Change the record already. You were never like this before.
That's because you suddenly stopped doing anything around the house as soon as you got married.
Oh, shut up, Clint. You make it sound like I do nothing at all. Why are you so horrible to me? Who do you think you are talking to me like that? I don't deserve this. I'm trying my best here. If you wanted a wife who did everything around the house, then why didn't you marry someone more homely? It's not fair of you to pile on all these expectations on me. What about what I want? If you're so unhappy, then break up with me and find someone to be your stay-at-home house slave, housewife. Oopsie, silly me, I misspoke.
Don't be so dramatic, Nina. I don't want to break up with you. I wish we could work as more of a team. I feel like I'm going at everything alone here.
Button that, asshat. I'm sick of your preaching. I'm gonna go out for a while.
Huh? What? Where? I thought you had a headache.
I do, but it'll get worse if I stay in this house for a second longer. I need a change of atmosphere. I'm going to eat out.
Fine. Try not to be back too late, okay?
Don't tell me what to do. I have no idea when I'll be back. I'd rather not see you right now.
Why do you have to be like this? I'm not telling you to do everything around the house. I just want you to try a little harder. Like before, you know? Remember when you used to help out with things? That's all I'm asking.
God damn it, Clint. Do you think I'm dumb? I heard you the millionth time ago. Don't message me until I'm home. I don't even want to think about you. I am so sick and tired of your shit, it's unreal. I married you because I thought you were kind. I had no idea you were this much of a domineering control freak. You say I've changed, but if you can't see that you turned into Mr. Hyde as soon as we got married, then I don't even know what to say to you. How about looking in the mirror before getting on your high horse and pointing the finger at me? Ugh, what's the point? Screw it, I'm just gonna come out with it. It's official. Our marriage has failed.
Nina, where are you right now?
What does it matter to you?
I need you to come back to the house as quickly as you can.
Nope, not happening. I'm gonna go eat out with my friend now.
Are you sure they're just your friend?
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not the only guy you're in a relationship with, am I?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I can't believe this. Is constantly being on my back about the housework not enough for you? Now you have to accuse me of cheating as well? You disgust me. Do you get off on this or something?
You know, I've known something was off about you for a while now. You're constantly going out and your spending's out of control.
Is it any wonder when the house is such a stressful place to be? I wouldn't be able to keep going if I didn't have some way to blow off steam.
I saw the transaction history in your credit card. You've been staying at a hotel a few times a month, haven't you?
Don't tell me that's the proof behind your ridiculous allegation. Pathetic. You're clueless. Girls' parties at hotels are in vogue these days.
Since you mention it, no, that's not all. I have photos of you and him.
Huh?
Look, Nina, I get that you're not happy with how things are between us, but I'd rather you spoke to me about it before going off and cheating on me. We could have worked through this if you had just opened up to me about what was bothering you. Now? There's no going back. We're done. It's time we got a divorce. I need you to come home so we can talk about how we're going to do this.
You serious? You actually want to divorce me?
What point would there be in carrying on now? You and me both know we'd be deluding ourselves if we thought we could ever go back to how things used to be. Look, I need to talk to you about the divorce proceedings, okay?
Fine. I'll speak to you. But I want to see this proof of yours actually exists first. We can talk after I'm satisfied with that.
Does that mean you'll come home?
That's what you're ordering me to do, isn't it? I haven't done anything wrong. If I find out you're lying or trying to fake evidence, I'll take you to court and you'll have to pay me compensation for the emotional distress you're causing me. Clint, I'd like a word with you.
Morning, Barbara. This wouldn't happen to be about Nina, would it?
Yes, it would. So you're aware of why I'm messaging you then?
Yep. Nina didn't come home yesterday. So I think I've got a pretty good idea. I'm sorry it came to this.
Why, do you really think this all goes away with an apology?
No, I don't think that. But this was the only way.
The only way? You've got some nerve. My daughter told me you hit her. I hope you don't think you're getting away with this. You two are getting a divorce. And mark my words, you will be taking full responsibility for what you did.
Huh? I hit her? What are you talking about? I'm the one with the bunch of broken bones.
Excuse me?
Wait a sec. I thought you messaged me because you're angry about me divorcing her.
No, you asshole. I'm angry about you domestically abusing and injuring her. What kind of sniveling lowlife coward raises his hand against a woman? You're despicable, you vermin.
Oh my God, what the hell has Nina been telling you?
She told me things haven't been going well between you two lately. She told me that you hurt her yesterday. You lost your temper and punched her square in the face in the middle of an argument, didn't you?
No, that's not true at all. Nina's making it up.
Are you accusing my daughter of lying? You do realize I saw what you did to her when she came to my house in floods of tears yesterday.
If she had any injuries, then she inflicted them on herself to make you believe her.
What the hell did you just say? Good Lord, you're sick.
Barbara, just wait. I understand that you're angry, but please just slow down for a second and listen to me. The argument we had yesterday was because I confronted her with proof of her affair. Yes, voices were raised and things did get very heated. But I never hit her. I never have and I never would.
An affair? My daughter is having an affair?
Yes. She rushed at me all of a sudden in an attempt to snatch the proof out of my hand, probably so she can get rid of them. Of course, in spite of that, I didn't hit her. But she was totally out of control. She grabbed a frying pan off the kitchen side and started swinging it around like a maniac. Eventually, she got me on the floor and was straddling my chest. She started pounding on my closed hands as hard as she could to try and get me to loosen my grip on the SD card with the proof of her affair on it.
No way, with the frying pan?
Yes. She crushed half the bones in my hand into bits and pieces. It's such a mess. The doctors don't even know if I'll ever have normal use of it again. I don't even remember how many breaks and fractures I have.
My daughter, my Nina, did that?
Yes. There's no doubt about it. I have a medical certificate if you don't believe me.
But what about Nina's injury? She had blood pouring from a big cut in her forehead.
After snatching my phone, she tried to destroy the SD card with the frying pan. But she was swinging it around like such a deranged lunatic that she cracked herself in the forehead by accident due to the momentum on the way back up.
What the? Oh, this sounds more like a comedy sketch than real life. I'm struggling to believe you here, Clint.
I understand that. Don't worry, I'll show you the proof.
Fine, I'll reserve judgment until I've seen this proof of yours. It's your word against hers right now. And her forehead is a mess.
All right. Is she with you at your house right now?
Yes, she turned up on the doorstep out of the blue last night. She was exhausted. She's still asleep now.
I'm sorry to have to ask you this, Barbara, but I need you to keep this conversation between us quiet for Nina for the time being.
That's fine by me. She said she blocked your messages anyway. But I couldn't forgive you for raising your hands against her. So I took it upon myself to message you.
I get that. I'm sorry to trouble you like this, but I need you to come and meet me. This isn't the kind of thing I can send through message, so I want you to come and see it in person with your own eyes.
Clint, when are we getting divorced?
The sooner the better, I hope. You cheated on me and pulverized my hand into little pieces with the frying pan when I confronted you about it. I'd have to be insane to want to stay with you a second longer. Any love I had for you was gone.
Pulverized your hand? What the hell are you talking about?
You pounded the crap out of it in a rage with the frying pan yesterday because I couldn't let go of the SD card full of proof of your affair you were so desperate to get your hands on. I had an x-ray at the hospital. It's broken in over a dozen places.
That's bullshit and you know it, Clint. You messed up your hand when you punched me in the face. I just got a medical certificate from the hospital. I hope you know that you'll be paying me a mountain in compensation for the domestic abuse you subjected me to when we divorce. You really messed up this time.
Compensation? I see. So that's your endgame. Now everything makes sense.
You're not seriously denying that you flew into a rage and punched me in the face when I said I wanted a divorce, are you? What am I saying? Of course you're lying through your teeth. You were always going to deny it.
I flew into a rage? Me? Are you serious? You were so out of control, it's a wonder the house is still in one piece. Were you really so desperate to destroy the proof of your affair that you hospitalized me over it?
Proof of my affair? What affair? I don't know what you're talking about. Stop talking crap and own up to what you did. Is this how desperate you are to protect your precious nice guy image? You are so warped, it's terrifying.
So now you're denying the affair too?
Clint, I think you should see a psychiatrist. You're starting to sound crazy. It looks like you hate me so much, you can no longer distinguish between fantasy and reality.
The only one who needs to see a shrink here is you pathological liar.
What? You really are committed to trying to paint me as a liar, huh?
You're really sure of yourself, aren't you? Ask yourself this, Nina. Do you really think I'd keep the only copies of the evidence on a single USB stick?
What's that supposed to mean?
The stuff on that drive was just a copy of the original. I have copies of it on every other device I own. not to mention the ones I uploaded to my Peeps drive online. Plus, the private investigator who took all those photos in the first place still has everything they gathered on you.
What? You hired a private investigator to follow me?
Of course I did. I hardly had any time to do it myself with my work schedule.
Show me the rest of this so-called proof, then. I know you're probably just trying to scare me into backing down.
Why? You want me to show you it so you can break my other hand while trying to wrestle it from me again? Let me make this crystal clear. No matter how many copies you manage to steal or destroy, there will always be more.
Clint, please, why do you have to get so angry over a measly affair? Please, just calm down.
Who wouldn't be angry after what you did? A measly affair. Really?
You have to understand, I was lonely. All you ever did since we got married was pester me to do housework. If ever I didn't do it, even for just a few days, you started bossing me around and making thinly veiled threats. I thought if you really loved me, the housework wouldn't be an issue. Fine, I admit it. Maybe I did start sulking and slacking off on the housework because I was unhappy with how things were between us. Is that really such a crime?
Are you somehow trying to use this as justification for your...
It was just stress relief, that's all. The guy I went to the hotel with, I found him online. He's an escort. I guess you could say it's his job to spend time with lonely, dissatisfied women like me. If you think about it, it wasn't even really an affair. How could it be when there are no feelings involved? Guys do stuff like that all the time. Why is it so wrong when I do it?
Oh, look, more bullshit excuses. I know he wasn't an escort, so you can drop the act already.
Huh?
Why even bother lying? I told you I hired a private investigator. He's not an escort. He works part-time at a local bar. I know all about how you both made fun of me when you were together, too. All I am to you is a weak-willed loser with no backbone whose only value is to give you money.
I never said that.
I have a recording of the conversation. I can't believe you're so brazen you'd have a conversation like that about me right out in the open. You must have been convinced you were untouchable. You really are a moron.
I was just humoring him. He was the one who started it. I didn't mean it. It was just a joke.
We used to split the household duties fairly before we were married. But the moment we tied the knot, you completely changed. It's like you went from the girl of my dreams to the stuff of my worst nightmares overnight. All I ever was to you was an ATM, wasn't I? A convenient tool to be used and manipulated to put food on the table and keep a roof over your head while you lazed around doing nothing. Something tells me that you wouldn't last long even if you did make a go of it with your bartender friend.
No, stop this, please. You've got this all wrong, Clint.
Which part am I wrong about? You tried painting me as the perpetrator of an injury you inflicted upon yourself. Do you have any idea how damaging accusations like that can be for a guy? You even tried extracting compensation out of me based on your lies.
But it's true, you really did hit me. If it's divorce you want, then you have to make things even and give me my compensation. I'll report you to the police. Is that what you want?
Go ahead. I hope they do a thorough investigation. You're the only one who'll get arrested, though.
What?
I installed a camera in the living room before you came over to talk yesterday. You always did have a habit of throwing things at me and getting violent if you didn't get your way. I figured I needed an insurance policy in case you tried to pull any funny business, so I recorded the whole thing from start to finish. It's all on camera. You charging at me in a rage, tackling me to the floor, straddling me, trying to pry the USB drive out of my hand, and finally, pulverizing it with a frying pan. Oh, and not to mention the part where you accidentally hit yourself in the face amidst the chaos of it all.
You're lying.
Oh, no, I'm not, Nina. I just got done showing the footage to your mom. She admitted you were in the wrong and apologized to me.
What? My mom? You showed my mother?
Yes, in fact, we're together right now. She broke down in tears when she saw what happened. She promised to make you take responsibility for what you did, no matter what.
Clint, I'm sorry.
What's the point in apologizing now? Too little, too late.
I was in the wrong, but I can change. I swear I can. I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. I promise to serve you and only you as your dutiful, loyal wife for the rest of my life. Please just give me one more chance.
A chance? Wait a sec. You're not actually trying to change my mind on the divorce, are you? You wouldn't be that crazy, would you?
Come on, Clint. It's not like I did what I did because I hate you or anything.
You broke most of the bones in my hand. I can hardly just forget about it and carry on like nothing happened.
But I won't ever do anything like that again. I swear I won't. I swear on my life.
You can apologize as much as you like. My feelings about you aren't going to change, Nina.
I'm sorry. I took you for granted because of what a nice guy you are. The truth is, I was actually thinking about doing the housework the whole time. It's just you're so nice. I thought you'd let me off even if I didn't. So the less hardworking side of me won out.
Listen, Nina. Sure, I won't deny it. The housework thing bothered me. But you and me went past the point of no return when you charged me with a frying pan and beat my hand to a pulp. The fact that you tried to pin a self-inflicted injury on me in a bid to destroy my reputation and make me destitute in a court case, it's just the icing on the cake.
But I told you I'll never do anything like that ever again.
Talk is cheap and I don't believe you. You scared me. And it's as simple as that. You betrayed me and launched into a violent attack when I confronted you about it. You're nothing more than a criminal to me now.
A criminal? Oh my God, Clint, don't even say that. I thought you were a nice guy. Listen, I'll be good to you like I was before, I swear. I promise I can change, just trust me on this one. Please just don't abandon me. You're all I have. I married you because it's you I want.
Yes, I know I'm your favorite ATM, Nina. I'm actually disappointed in myself that it took all this time for me to realize you were taking me for a chump. All I could feel for you now is hatred and disdain. I couldn't muster up the urge to treat you with kindness again if I tried with every fiber of my being. My love for you is gone and I want a divorce. If you're so unhappy about it, then break up with me. Those were your words, were they not? Nina insisted that she wouldn't go along with the divorce for as long as she could. But thanks to the intervention of her mom, Barbara, who was absolutely livid with her, I got my divorce and received the compensation I filed for in full 1 week later. I also filed a report with the cops about the frying pan incident, and the next day, she got taken away in the back of a patrol car. The cops didn't pursue charges because it was her first offense and happened within the home. But the incident will remain on her file forever. Apparently, she used the time she spent in police custody to reflect on how she got herself into such a mess. Word of the affair got out to Nina's lover's parents, and when I filed for compensation against him, they completely flipped out, drove over to his place, and stuffed him into the car, kicking and screaming in an absurd spectacle in front of the whole neighborhood. Last I heard, his and Nina's relationship had fallen apart, and he was under house arrest at his folks' place in the countryside. As for Nina, she lives with her aunt who runs a pumpkin farm, working the fields 7 days a week. Almost all of her wages go on paying back the debt she owed her parents since they paid all of the compensation she owed me. A letter from Nina came in the mail the other day. In it, she apologized for everything she'd done and admitted to being an idiot. And you know what? Part of me thinks she actually meant it. In any case, I immediately tossed it in the trash where it belongs and carried on about my day while continuing to not give a solitary heck about her. You hear about marriage failing all the time, but I never thought mine would be over in less than a year. It sure as hell beats the alternative, though. If I had forgiven her for what she did to me and decided to give things another shot, my life would have probably been as good as over. I don't feel anything for her at all anymore. But I do at least hope she changes her ways so that no one else gets hurt of a result of her outrageous behavior. It's been just over half a year since the divorce now, and I'm finally starting to feel like my old self again. Tell you the truth, it was the worst year of my life. And at one point I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. But now, thanks to the support of my amazing network of family and friends, things are finally looking up. I'm determined to treat them with the kindness they've showed me, and show my gratitude for them being there to help pull me out of the hole when I needed them the most. Life's full of ups and downs. Sure, I've been through my fair share of downs, but who hasn't? I'll never let that stop me from keeping a positive mindset and moving forward with my life. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and I know for sure that my best days are still ahead of me.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.